Hey, everybody! Hey, how you doing? You over there? Hi. Hi. I'm Pastor Michael. This is Because Ministry ASL Lessons. Hi. Of course. Alright. Let's talk about some different history, maybe. We haven't talked much about different things, mostly on time. What to do with the time. Talk a little bit about schools. Remember all that. Alright. There was the TV show way back. It's part of the history. So we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm Pastor Marco. I've been teaching ASL this year. It's what I did last year. More verbal for this year. Lesson every Wednesday. New course. Every week. Study every week. Means you gotta do it every day. Every single day. Practice. Watch over. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Alright. I also have been teaching in person the past. Different churches, like in Syracuse. 2 different churches. That ministry. So, well, what was that? I have the cat. Next door I have cat. Then underneath, oh yeah. Then I get a high underneath sometimes. Bang, something. They always do. We'll try to get the door. Yeah, it's open. Just a screen. So they can't come out. One time they did. Anyway. Okay. I remember there was a kid. Back in the early 70s. Towards the end of the series. Remember what it's called? BHM. The box. Yeah. I can't say it about because that's copyrighted thing. The little Gumby with the artist name Tony Hawk. Remember him? The artist, the folk artist. Very creative. Because that's all visual. Because that's very strong with their vision and with their ears. And they had a t-shirt for the dog named Pat Keithal. I know Keithal. But that was her name. Stein and Bernstein. That's the alphabet with 2 hands. Difficult to understand. Yeah. But the rest of the video was enjoyable. You got to flip up. For example, in the beginning was the frog, but that's the name, and the thigh. Revert. And the turtle. Yep. And the walker. In the ground. The digger. His name, the digger. And the prop. Be funny. The comedian. He's wearing a white lap coat. Let's see what else. Oh, there's many different things to it. The other person that part of the team was Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy. He was one of Doctor Who. Remember him? I think that's before Baker. Baker was awesome. Oh yeah. There were many Doctor Who. Time traveler. Anyway, I was just thinking of the ones that I don't like. Anyway, so those three were on that show. Only 30-minute episode on BBC back then. They were on for US called PPS. They would show for the deaf. At the time, Tony didn't really talk, just showing artwork. Teaching the kids about art. We'd have an animal, then we'd have something really trick change. For example, maybe a walrus, I remember that's my favorite, because then he drew a strong man lifting barbell. Part of the artwork. It's really cool. He did one on the stand. It's on the big wall using real material, paint on the material, then make art from. Like piece of wood dot the 2x4. Each one a different paint color. Oh, it's a lot. However, that part that many times studio back then video over and over and over, so that you rating the original and then remake the next film, or the next episode, or a different show. The limit number of videos back then, so that's why it was lost hard to get a full seat. Very few were able captured on BHM from homeowners. They're on YouTube. Look it up. BHM. It really means the studio like they're on when they're done. All quiet. Watch. That's what it is. They're in the studio doing all that artwork and different activities. The best is being funny. The comedian in there, but he was more serious than Doctor Who, Sylvester McCoy. The best D without R because 13 letter. Think the correct. No, I don't believe that. That's what he wanted, but he changed it to adopt the R in his name. After BHM was canceled, it was kind of reboot as Heartbeat, Heart, H-A-R-T, Heart, B-E-A-T. It sounds very 70s, 80s feel to that. Without the others in it. No signs. It focused more on art. Then he went on to the next series as well. So he's been on 3 different series as the main host. All art. it's like what Barbara is to adult with a quick painting, wet on wet. But Tony there would bulk art, making different things may include the Gumby. And mules. With this marker, we drew a lot of different things. On that show, it's very tricky. They had different teams to do different segment part of the show, different segment clip. One with the dagger, one team do that. You have the free frame movement, like Gumby, same thing. That with Tony. But the other different team do different things. One do that thing, film, takes a long time. The next frame, next. Those are still pictures, naturally. Keep going, then you will see a movement. Got it? But not with Tony doing the art and Pat Keithell thing. They did show a lot of children artwork from all over. And enjoyed the little kid artwork. That is one of the reasons why I said I'm going to be a designer. Get real creative with idea. And thanks to my father, who asked me where should put a new van. And our 1970 Aero snowmobile. It was overheating. Yeah, it's all were recall. But you know what? I knew too. I did because the engine right behind there gotta be straight, right in between the two headlights. That's where you cut out, make the vent right there. Made it right at the shop. Our family business. That was a sheet metal company. So they cut that out, put it on there. Vent to help to cool the engine with the free air. Without the air, it gets too hot and crack the engine. It did crack. Throw it off 2 years later. Traded it, I think. But I found it years later, about 1995, driving by. There it is! There it is! That was our error. I know that error. I know the look, know where the vent, everything. Because everybody does it different in the vent. Move a little different things, but I know that our error in East Syracuse. So that's where it was. Years later, 20 years later, that was back in the 90s. That's 30 years ago. I don't know what happened to it. But anyway. Combination of all that, thanks to Tony and to my father, why I can draw and design so well today. Unfortunately, no company wanted to hire me. You don't need college education for that. It's the portfolio they're looking to it. I think I know why. I'm not. The one man who have a degree in architecture, they say he's too loud. So they let him go. Then stuck. So got a job at a factory making furniture. near where I used to live. Durkin area, that company. Very, very, very good. Very expensive furniture. Mission style. Anyway, that's where he worked for the rest of his life. With a degree, it could have been useful in architecture. There's a lot of stuff cannot get the career they want after going to college. That's why not many jobs won't. Because it's a waste of time. Go to college for something they will never work at. It's more like, excuse me, I work hard for that, not getting that. Another one, got a degree in mechanical engineering, which is working. The post office fixing LLVs. Come on. You don't earn mechanical engineering just to fix LLV. Excuse me. It's sad. But Vision really encouraged a lot of them to be creative in art, design, engineering, whatsoever. Alright. That's all the history of that show. Ever since, there was nothing like that. Ever since. Nothing. But only Bob Ross still running. He already had passed away 30 years ago. I remember him. Passed away. Leukemia. His blood cancer. But his son's running it. And PBS. Joy watches Bob Ross painting. His little friends in the trees. Alright. Thanks for watching. God bless.